What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be taking a look at one of the most affordable bait casters out there. It is the Spartacus II by Kastking. So let's get to it. Alright guys, so we picked up this Spartacus II by Kastking off of Amazon a few days ago. We got it for something about like 35. I think there might even be like 45 bucks. There was just a discount on it, so we got it for like 35 bucks. The color that I picked up, I believe is called like Sand Drift, something like that. Let me look for it. Well, the box just says blue, but I believe the actual description on Amazon says Sand Drift. So if we take a look at the reel real quick, see it's a really cool, nice blue design. First thing I noticed, it's got some really neat EVA kind of foam-like handles to it. Very light, very tight, nice compact style bait caster. So we'll take a closer look at that later, but I do want to show you guys what's in the box as well. So inside the box itself, looks like it comes with a Kastking sticker. It's a cool little sticker. It's got a manual, it looks like, bait caster reel instruction manual, warranty. It's just showing you how to clean your reel, how to grease it, kind of do a little bit of maintenance. So that's really neat. It's really good to have. Then you have your schematics, your blueprints for the reel. That's really good. That's how I learned actually how to clean my first reel and kind of get comfortable with it as well. And then it looks like they have a loyalty program. So you receive discounts. So just some little loyalty program by Kastking. So we'll pop all of that back in there. All right, so enough looking at the box. Let's go and take a closer look at this reel, talk a little bit about it, and then we're gonna take it out, do a casting distance, and then we will even probably pop it on one of my poles and do a little test run, see if we can maybe hook up on some fish, just test a few different lures as well, and just kind of see where we go with that. But we're gonna take a look at it first and just talk about the features of the reel, talk a little bit about the color, because it is a really cool color. I think Kastking does a really good job of getting some eye-popping reels out there for a very affordable price. So first thing I noticed about this reel is obviously the very, very unique, cool color. It's like a powder blue. I believe it was called Sand Drift, like I said it a few times. It's got the braking system over here on the outside. It is a 1 through 10 braking system. It's got the classic little spool latch right there. It's going to be even. It's not leaning towards one direction or anything like that. I am left-handed, so I did pick up the left-handed version of it. It's got the little spool knob adjuster right there. It does not click, does not make any noise. The brake itself actually does make noise, does click a little bit, so that's nice. Tells you, where your tension's at. I do enjoy when my reels let me know, if I am adjusting it, or if I'm not adjusting it. You can't really tell, with the spool. It's got EVA foam handles. It's got some nice, really neat blue coloring to the edge of that. It's like a little anodized metal on the tip of the bolt. So really neat, really cool design. On the bottom, it talks all about the reel itself. It talks about the fact that it is a 7-to-1 gear ratio and that you want to use a 10-pound line, and its spool is about 140 yards. So I was noticing that as well. It is kind of a smaller spool, smaller reel. It is more compact, like I was talking about. Let me grab another reel real quick and compare to it. So right here, in comparison to this Shimano SLX, here is your Kastking, and you can't really tell there's a big difference, I guess, from the camera, but when you get kind of closer up, you'll see spool size. This one's a little bit smaller in width. This is going to be a little bit bigger in width, and then the cranks themselves are going to be a little bit smaller. But besides that, the body itself, the frame on the sides right there, you see there's a little bit more girth over here. Over here, it's a little bit further down and just a little bit easier to handle. So let's get this thing spooled up, get out there on the water, do some distance testing, and see if we get some action on it as well. All right, guys, so we just got out here to the golf course, and we're going to be testing out our distance tests here. As you can see behind me, we got a nice patch of green that we will be tossing along, and I have a special little app that is going to be registering the distance that this is going to be casting For starters, we're going to be using a 1/2 ounce chatterbait, so just a basic kind of 1/2 ounce jig, no trailer on it. I just kind of want to get a basic demonstration of distance. We'll go ahead and do some fine adjusting, you know, change the brake, change the spool, kind of talk you guys through it on the chesty. And once again, we rigged this up with 10-pound fluoros, so that will help us. There's a little bit of wind coming from behind us. We are going to be casting that way, so we will be using the wind to our advantage. So I'm just going to go ahead and let you guys know that in advance. I did not bring another pole to test out in comparison, but I will go ahead and kind of just let you know my general idea in comparison to my other Kastking reel and my handful of Shimano reels. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get the chesty strapped on and test this bad boy out. All right, so we're getting the recording going. Once again, Kastking Spartacus II. Gonna go ahead and walk over a few of the features about this reel because I don't think I talked about everything specifically when we were talking about it in the house. But this is going to be a very low profile bait caster, and on top of it being a low profile bait caster, it also is going to be very light. It is coming in at an amazing only 6 ounces of weight, which is pretty damn crazy. So the reason why it is 6 ounces though is because it is going to be a reinforced nylon frame. This is actually going to be a plastic frame, so no surprise there. It is a cheaper reel. It is a cheaper, more affordable brand, so they are going to use a little bit less quality. It is reinforced, so I'm not sure exactly what that means, so I guess it's just hardened and kind of looking pretty. Damn, this wind is getting crazy out here today right now. But besides that, it is going to have magnetic brake system. It's going to have an amazing 17.6 pound drag, which is pretty damn crazy for a reel this small, this light, and I mean, this cheap. This is once again a 140 spool size, 10-pound fluoro, 1/2 ounce chatterbait jig. We'll be fishing this as well. I did bring a mystery tackle box because I thought, you know, there'd be no better way to test out this reel for the first time than maybe throwing a handful of different lures from mystery tackle box. So this is the spin drift. I called it some sand drift or something earlier. It is actually called the spin drift. So correction on that note. And I think we've kind of gone over everything. It's got aluminum handles, EVA grips, but let's get this thing going. Enough talking, let's get casting. Once again, we're on a green. There is probably, I would say, a good 50 yards in front of us. I do have a little measuring device that we are going to use to go over this. I will show you guys that as soon as we get it casted. So let's get back and get ready. All right, so here goes nothing. I'm not gonna lie, I have the spool completely tightened because I'm afraid to cast it and get backlashed. So spool completely tightened, not too far. I don't know, we should do measuring real quick. I guess we'll do a little measuring, show you guys what it is completely tightened. For the rod, as you guys can see right there, and we are just gonna walk it to our lure. So we get walking, and that comes up to 36 feet 8 inches. So we're gonna open up the spool a little bit more. The brake right now is on max brake. I typically like to loosen my spool and keep my brakes pretty tight. It just works a little bit better for me, especially with jigs, heavier weights and stuff like that. If you're fishing certain lures, you might want to change that, adapt to your own liking. Another thing that I'll do to kind of just test to make sure that the spool is right is I kind of have it tight, and I open it up. You see how it's not really falling over there? And I'll just slowly loosen it up until it starts easy dropping. We'll go up again, test again, just a little bit more. There we go, easy dropping. So we got a nice easy drop. Let's go ahead and get this cast out. Pretty good, not too bad, not too far. I was kind of nervous about backlash, but that's probably twice as far as it just was. All right, so let's get this one going. And that's with the spool about halfway open. So let's see how far we are. We are at 56.5, so 56.5 feet. So we've almost doubled just by opening up the spool a little bit. We're gonna go brake a little bit less and spool a little bit less. Oh, that's not bad at all. We went crooked. So I'm gonna go at an angle and measure it. All right, here we go. Last one was 56. I think we can get one more cast in and then I'll be satisfied. So we're about to pass 56. We're at 72 feet. So we've got 73 feet 1 inch. Hold on, I will mark it to give us exact 73.2. So 73.2 is exactly how far we casted right there. So we'll get one more in, and I mean, this thing is doing really good. I can't complain so far. It is getting out there real smooth, real nice, hasn't had any sort of backlash at all. And this reel comes in at a whopping $35 with the Amazon discount it has right now. I believe it's $45 regular. So this is kind of good. I can't complain. I do have it on a pretty cheap Daiwa rod setup. This thing's like 50 bucks retail too. So cheap combos, that's what we're doing today, affordable combos. I don't want to do too much on the spool, but I have to leave the brake on. That's the thing. If I'm up with the spool, I gotta leave the brake on or else we'll just get instant backlash. And try to go heavy, but not too heavy. And I have stepped back a little bit, but I'm gonna lay down the pole exactly where we need to. Oh dude, that thing definitely flew a lot more. Okay, laying down the pole. Line's a little crooked. All right, here goes nothing. Here's the tip. All right, I'm just gonna run it. All right, so we got further, not by much. 73 and 10, 73 feet 10 inches, so about 74 feet is what we got right there. All right guys, so it is safe to say that the Spartacus II is a pretty darn good reel for its price. You're going to be averaging about 60 to 75 feet in your casting if you're using a 1/2 ounce jig. And if you're kind of comfortable with bait casters like me, I can see people probably getting 80 feet out of this, and I can see people probably only getting 50 feet out of this, depending on what line you're using, how you're using, if the wind's behind your back, all that good stuff, depending on how comfortable you are with bait casters. But now that we got a good idea of the distance, let's go ahead, get this lure wet, try to catch some fish. So we'll see how this 17.6 pound drag compares to a fish. Hopefully. It has been fairly weird here in Texas. The weather has been all over the place, but I'm really hoping that we can get a bite for you guys today, show you what it looks like against some fish. But if not, at least we got a good distance test. Alright, we got a lipless crank on there now. We're just fan casting. That's where the real test of this reel comes in. Look at that. No thumb needed. That's how you dial in your bait caster properly. That just lets me know we can get it out even further if I wanted. Well, I will say so far that I am fairly impressed with this reel. It is holding up to all my casting, pitching, flipping, fake hook setting, reeling, all that stuff so far. So I could only imagine that when we do hook up with a fish, if we do hook up with a fish, it should be fairly good. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Last few seconds of the night. Last few seconds. Oh. Oh my God. What the hell? Yeah. Soaked. All right, guys. So as you can see, my night ended a little different than I was expecting. Ended up completely soaking wet, but that is another story for another video. As far as the reel goes, I will say for the price of the Kastking Spartacus II, it really impressed me. So we tested out multiple lures with it. I didn't really put it all in the video because it was a long run throughout the day, but we did a lipless crankbait, we did a jig, and we did multiple chatterbaits, multiple weights, multiple trailers. And I will say it handled it all fairly well. I did some pitching, I did some skipping under some trees, and didn't get any backlash. It was able to withstand all that weird little motion, little pressure that I was able to put on it. So for the regular price of $45, like I said, I got mine on sale. They might be on sale right now still. I will say it is a pretty darn good reel. So some of the downfalls I would say would be the spool size isn't the biggest. The frame is going to be a reinforced nylon, which I know over time is going to break down. It's going to get some wear and tear, going to kind of, I wouldn't say seize up, but it might shift on itself, start showing some cracks in the reel and just kind of looking awkward and grinding weird after a while. I do know how these cheaper reels can get after a while. And that's the thing about them, is for $45, it's only going to last you, you know, X amount of time. But like I said, it did impress me for its price. If you are a beginner fisherman, I would recommend picking it up and testing it out, trying out this Baitcaster. Like I said, do make sure you adjust your spools and make sure it's the brakes are up when you're first starting out. But other than that, just kind of open it up, have some fun with it. It handled pretty well. Like I said, did all the pitching, skipping, flipping, all that fun stuff. So that's really going to be it for today. Like I said, I will make a whole nother video explaining me falling in the water and whatnot. I'll go over that a whole nother day. That's something else. But that's gonna be it for today, guys. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. I will definitely try to get back to you as soon as possible. I'm, you know, getting a move going on right now. Actually, we're about to move, so I kind of have my hands full. But please like the video if you enjoyed it. If it did give you any information, it does help the channel out a lot. If you have any questions, once again, leave them in the comments. But that's gonna be it. See you guys next time. Peace.